Welcome again to this video, which I'm gonna complete the code for you. As we remember, we had this part of geometric object is called the two abstract uh, method, which means they are not being implemented here. They have to be implemented in the children's. And because of this abstract methods, you have to make sure that your class is abstract. Because if I remove that one, that's going to give me an error, which means it has to be an abstract. That's why I say it has to be abstract because your methods are abstract. There you go. Now, having said that, you've got the circles. Both circle and rectangle are children of geometric object, and we have to implement these methods. So this method is been implemented here, and the method is implemented here for the get perimeters. The rectangle is exactly the same things. So you have to implement this one in the children's. Now, they always create a test file class. So the class is we using this is as we mentioned last time. This is polymorphisms. I'm using the parent to create the child. Now, in order to print these ones, I'm going to go and say system to print them, system out, print ln, and I can say only the object itself, object one, for instance, and that's it. By default, it knows that when I print the object, it goes and finds the object because it's circle. It's going to start with a circle. It just looks for the two string. If it doesn't have the two strings, it goes to the parent. If it's find the two strings there or not. So there's two strings here. So it goes from the children. By the children, they have the two strings head. So I print this one. I'm going to show both. I've used both of them. So explicitly and implicitly. So I say print ln for the object 2 as object 2, and I say give me two strings. So both of them is going to give me actually the result, because if you print the object console, it goes to the two strings, or you can write the two strings here. So if I run the programs here, that's going to give me both the circle is created and it's 5, and that's the area of it, and the rectangle exactly the same things. I can put actually split between them. I can go and say system out to put separator print ln, and definitely I'm gonna say okay, that's this one between them. So run the program again, just to give a split or separator between both of them. The reason for that's here, because if I this is print ln, so that's the error here. That's system out print ln. There we go. Run the program now, and that's will give us actually a separator between them. So that's for the rectangle, which is object 2, and the other one. Now assume we have assume these two objects, the circle and the rectangle, are pizzas. So if it's pizzas, you want to see actually is it they are the same size or not. In order to see if they're the same size, we can check if they are both the same. So I'm going to say, for instance, system out print ln, and I'm going to say okay. Now I'm going to say the are the objects equal, for instance. I can say after this questions here, and I'm going to say okay, and that's going to should give me the answer to that. Now, in order to do this, I can with this one trace here, I can create a method to tell me if it's yes or no. So I can go and I say okay, I can create a method. Let me say the method let me call it equal, okay, area. Here it is. And I say this one, I can send object 1 to it, because both of them I can and get the area for that, and object 2, which they are here, both object 1 and object 2 here. So of course this methods here, they are here because we don't have actually the methods yet. So the method is outside part of the class. Remember, because the main is static, you have to make sure this method is static. So I can go and here I can say okay, public static because I want the answer is going to say, is it they equal or not? I'm going to say it's going to be Boolean, true or false. Boolean, and I'm going to say equal. I take the same name. There it is, the same name here, and it is. All right. Now remember, the input to this method are the two object, object one, object two of type geometric object. So I can go in here and I say, okay, I want first one is of type object. Here it is. I'm going to say O1 for instance, and the second one same things. I'm going to say O2. Now, in order to get the answer, is it true or false, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to say return. So it's going to turn true or false to me. So I can say return is object one get area. There it is. Yeah. Even though, if you notice, here it said get area for geometric object, right? But this goes actually, if you notice, in geometric object here, get area is an abstract, and therefore it goes where it goes to the child. So it goes to the radius, the area here, and therefore I can say here get area. That is. So I get area. There it is. And because I want true or false, equal is, that means is return to me is get area, or the area of object one, which is the radius, is equal to the other one, second one, or two. And let's say get area again, and say geometric, because geometric is, I can have a look at this one here, and that's going to return to me true or false. So I'm going to run the program, and definitely it's going to give me false here. Here it is. All right. And that's going to tell me it's false, right? And that's how we do it. The other thing is very important if we'd like to change, for instance, one of them. Remember, for objects one, if I want to change the radius for that one, always make sure you have to go for if, and you're going to say obj one, for instance, is instance of, right, a circle. If it's not the case, remember, in this circle, right, in order to access the circle and try to get actually the radius for that, remember we have to cast this, because the type is geometric object, and therefore I can go and I say, okay, you open brackets here, you get your class, there it is, and I'm going to say, okay, I want obj1, there it is, and then it gives me access. If I say and I say set, you see, if I say set radius, if we set radius as a part of circle, here it is, right? So I can go in here, and it is, I can put, for instance, 10, and therefore if I come here and I can say, okay, print this object for me. Here it is, and that's going to give me 10 in this case. Here it is. So remember, this is part of the polymorphisms. Run the programs here. Even though it got a false, after it says false, the radius changed to 10. Right. I hope that's understandable. I'm going to take this out. It is, yeah. Obviously, if you want for the second one, if it's no radius, you can go and say else, and say for the, I can say else. If it's else, right, so that'd be a rectangle. I'm going to say, here it is, I'm going to say, okay, rectangle. Here it is, obj. In case we don't know this, and I can say set. When I say send, if I look at this one, rectangle, obj one, for instance, it is, say length and width of rectangle. Definitely I'm going to go in here, for instance, height, I'm going to say for 10, and the second one is, I'm going to test the same things, take it as well, here, I text one exactly the same, I just go here, there it is, and I'm going to say set width, so that's set width, and I'm going to say this one probably 5, there it is, and therefore, because object one is instance of circle, and therefore it's going to go, this will be true, and it's not going to do this one. If we do this one, there it is, and you see is a circle created, right? If I put obj 2, for instance, yes, obj 2, and look at that, what's going to happen? Obj 2, I'm going to change to up to here. Here it is, because up to is part of rectangle, and therefore it's going to go to the rectangle. So this is up to here, because I put this in the if statement. Here it is, and you're going to see what's going to happen here. Definitely, I'm going to go here, and we're going to say okay, and the print is up to. I can take it here, and I can do the same things here as well. There it is. So run the program now, and we'll see. Right, that's going to be a rectangle in this case. It is. It's a rectangle, right? And the height is 10 and the width is 5. I hope that's understandable, definitely. And one last thing you want, you can add actually here where you do a set. Always remember with a set, you have to go and use the throws, right? Throws here, and part of the exceptions. And soon you do that, if you do sets, you have to make sure in the sets here, you have to put this one inside, try and catch. Thank you very much, and I hope that's understandable, and I wish you best of luck. Should you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.